Hello everybody, I hope your day is going well. I have kind of an exciting video for you today, at least in my eyes, because we are building Best Boy Chongyun here. This is actually my account's first C6 character. My account actually has two C6 characters, both of which are cryo. Chongyun is one of them, Mika is the other. And the reason I got him close to C6 was because he was on Ayaka's release banner, and Ayaka was actually the character that got me back into the game. I didn't really play much of Genshin until Ayaka came out. I loved her charge attack animation, I loved her name, I loved her character, I loved her story quest. Anyway, in my long journey of pulling for Ayaka as a new Genshin player, I racked up quite a few Chongyun constellations. I think I got him C6 recently, but he was definitely there from the start of my Genshin journey, and I'm glad I get to build him today. If you didn't watch the Shalonen video, we actually used him to help me get stars in the Abyss, which was kind of crazy given that he's level 70 on a level 50 weapon, barely any talents upgraded. I'm really happy that we get to build him today, and yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into upgrading his stats. I don't think we can ascend him yet. Yeah, we need some core lapis and then some hoarfrost cores. This is something I haven't had to grind in a long time. So let's look at the talents. I think it'll recommend getting his ult up, yeah. Okay, so we can start with his ult. Get it to level 6. And then we ran out, but we can craft 18, so let's go ahead and do this. Also, you can see this is an account I got early on into my Genshin career because his normal attack is leveled up. I'm pretty sure Chongyun is one of the lowest scaling normal attacks in the game, so that's even more of a slap in the face, but it shows that he was here for me at the very beginning, and I think it makes it pretty sentimental. Okay, we can continue upgrading this. We need purples and ascending him for the next level. Let's go ahead and jump to his skill, which I also will be getting. We have a perfect amount of blue books, which is amazing. We finally have enough boss materials to get abilities upgraded here, which is something rare around my account, as I'm sure you know by now. Our Mora is running a bit low, as well as our XP books, so we might have to do some ley lines within this video. As of today, however, it is Friday, and about 5 a.m., 4 a.m. on Friday. But I have 5 condensed right now, so let's go ahead and grind this domain. I had to do a lot of this domain to triple crown Hu Tao, so it's time to relive some memories. I almost forgot how calming the leeway music was. I love it so much, and it's so peaceful here. I'm really glad we're returning for this video. That being said, I hope you guys can find a moment to relax yourselves today and make time for some self-care, whether that be eating some snacks you really enjoy, taking a long hot bath, or really doing whatever puts you at peace. I think for now, since we're out of resin, we can go ahead and see what we can do with this weapon, which is at level 50 right now. It is at R5, which I really appreciate for these sacrificial weapons in particular. But it looks like we can go ahead and ascend this once, and then we can actually ascend it again. We can ascend it one more time, so let's go ahead and craft these things up. Looks like we'll be needing more of these awhile wolves nostalgias. I think we have enough of the other materials. That is perfect. We just need to wait. Today is Friday, so these are available, but we did just farm talents, so I think it'll have to wait till Sunday or maybe next Tuesday. I'm happy with what we got done today though. I think all we really need is the core lapis and ice flower cores, and then just level up his talents a few times. I'm gonna take him to the level just before crowning, I hope. But yeah, I think we're gonna really take our time with building Chongyun. I really enjoy the scenery that his materials are at in Leeway, and I do think it's really important to take things at your own pace, especially in video games. I think it's pretty easy to get FOMO or to think that you have to do things when you can really just play however you want. You know, that's what games are for after all, to relax. So we can definitely take our time with this one and then just enjoy the process. Isn't Leeway so pretty? Like this fountain with the tree in the back. It's perfect. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more building of Chongyun here. I hope you have a great rest of your day, even though I'll see you in 5 seconds. Okay, it's a new day. Welcome back. It's actually my second time recording this. I spent the last hour just talking to myself like a dummy. I pressed record, but it was on a different scene, so it was just capturing a black screen for a full hour. Okay, that should be enough. Let's finally get him to 70 out of 80. During that hour, I shall catch you up. We farmed some core lapis, and then we ascended Chongyun to 70 out of 80, and then I leveled him up to 80 out of 80. So not too much done, but it was a nice core lapis farming session that I do not have anymore. We took Jinyan out for a core lapis farming session. I really like Jinyan. I like her rockstar kind of personality and how upbeat she is. If you didn't know, I do like classical rock a lot, so things like Aerosmith, AC/DC, Metallica, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses. Bands like that I really enjoy listening to. My dad used to listen to them all the time when I was growing up, so it kind of reminds me of my childhood. I feel like that's something you may not have guessed I liked based on my voice or how I act, but I do really like classical rock, and I would love to build Jinyan if we ever get an opportunity in the future. I know she's not anywhere close to meta, but cool character. Anyway, back to the main focus. We ran Chongyun's world boss a lot, got him to 80 out of 80 as I said. But we do have 5 condensed left over, and I think I'm gonna spend them on his talents. It's Sunday today, and I don't have any original resin, but I do have condensed. So let's go and run some talent. Okay, we did a few runs. Let's see what we can upgrade. I think I'll start with this burst. So let's get that up. And we do have quite a few of these able to be crafted. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we can get this up another level. And then we could get it up another level if he was upgraded. He is not right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get his skill up. And then one more time. Alright, it has been quite a while since the last clip. And by quite a while, I mean a few patches. I've just been caught up in building so many other characters at once. As soon as I put the HUD back up here, you'll see why I kind of stopped building Chongyun. We did indeed get Shenna, spoiler alert, for another video. But I was looking over my old footage and videos that I've kind of recorded and edited but not fully completed yet. And our boy Chongyun was here. And this is the team I wanted to test him on. It looked like I got him upgraded for the most part, besides the last few ascensions, and then I guess the talents up one more level each. But I think he'll be okay. 80 out of 80 here. I put some artifacts on for his DPS showcase. I wanted to buff him with Shenna, of course, and I wanted to see how much his elemental burst could do. So I think I'm going to take him off of Sacrificial Greatsword and use the weapon I kind of hate, but is the best for Claymore characters when you want to showcase their burst damage, the Luxurious Sea Lord. As you can see here at R5, it increases burst damage by 24%, which is kind of what I'm looking for in the showcase. We only have a level 50 out of 50, so I will need to level it up. Today is Saturday, so we should be all good. Yep. And yeah, I think I'm going to use what resin I have left today to just level this up to see how far we can take it, hopefully to max. I'm not sure how forgiving the weapon domain will be, but let's start out with upgrading it to 60 out of 60. And then it looks like we'll already need to be running some of this domain, so I'm going to go ahead and craft up some fragile and then we can go and run it. Okay, so I cut out some of that footage because I didn't want to spoil the damage numbers before the ending. But even with the Luxurious Sea Lord not fully leveled, that was kind of crazy. But I used 5 condensed resin. Hopefully that's enough to get it to 90 out of 90. Might be wishful thinking, but let's go ahead and craft it and then get it leveled. Okay, it looks like I'll be short 1 gold. So I'm gonna use a fragile since Chongyun has been there for me since day 1. You know, we gotta pay it forward and use a fragile on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it one more time and then we'll come back and craft the last thing and we'll be good. Okay, let's go ahead and craft up the last thing that we need. Should be good to go now. Go ahead and level it from 60 out of 60 to 90 out of 90. There we go. It now has maximum base attack and attack percent it can give. These will be our final stats on a 2-piece elemental burst and cryo damage. C6, one of my only C6s of course. His C2 is really good if you're gonna play him with support. It lets you use a lot more abilities and ults if you use them in his little field that he creates when he E's. C1's actually kind of useless unless you're using him as an on-field cryo DPS. His normal attacks have the lowest scaling in game, so not too good. And then I guess the C6 is pretty good if you meet the requirements. But all the rest don't look like too much of a difference maker if you just want to build him without C6. And since I didn't upgrade his ult to the max, even without the ult constellation, I would just be 1 above the level of crowning. So if you did end up not having that constellation and crowning his burst, the damage levels should be similar. He's also 80 out of 80, not 90 out of 90. And then on a free-to-play weapon, if you have a better claymore than me, like Wolf's Gravestone or any of the 5-star ones really, but I'm pretty sure the Luxurious Sea Lord is going to be good for now. If you don't have it, don't worry, there are other options. Craftable ones aren't bad, especially the Fontaine ones. But I'm excited to test out his damage. I think we're going to go and test it out on the Natlan boss, since it's pretty simple. Or maybe we'll try out the Pyro Regisvine first. I'll try out the team that we have on, and then I'll try out a free-to-play team. And just so if you want to build Chongyun and you don't have any premium 5 stars, you can see how good he can be. But with that in mind, let's go over to the flower and test out his damage. Okay, I got to the flower after building up their energy, and I realized I forgot to show the stats. These are the stats. Our crit rate is a little bit low, so we might have to run this damage test a few times. Energy recharge also very low, but we're running him as a DPS, so that doesn't matter too much. Almost 2k attack, and yeah, should be good to go. I think the rotation will be his E into Shalonen E ult to proc the scroll set on her, and then Shenhe tap ult into Bennett ult, and then finally Chongyun burst. Okay, I just realized that we don't have Hydro in this team to break the Pyro Regisvine's like shield thing. So I think we're gonna do Natlan boss first, and then at the end we could come back here with Barbara on Thrilling Tales. But let's go over to the Natlan boss and see how Chongyun hits. Okay, it looked like a bunch of ticks for 49k there, which easily puts him at just under 150k per ult. Yeah, someone's 3 giant spirit blades, so if they all did 49k each, it would be just under 150k, which is kind of crazy for a 4-star on a 4-star weapon. But just in case they didn't crit somehow, I guess I'll get my energy up and run it again. I'm pretty sure they were crits. This environment suits Chongyun pretty well. That's interesting. Also, I forgot to mention, would you believe me, Bennett is not even on Noblesse. Neither is Shenhe. Shenhe is on a... where is it? On a 2-piece. Bennett is on Instructor. I was using him with Chevreuse in the Abyss, and I put Noblesse on Chevreuse. I want to see what he hits if Bennett is on Noblesse, just with that attack buff that it gives, but I had to use my good Noblesse pieces on him, so I don't really have many Noblesse pieces, and I wanted to see how he'd hit with the Elemental Burst damage increase. So we won't be able to test that out today. Okay, I think that this team full of all 4 stars is pretty free to play. Xianling you can get from the Abyss. Chongyun, obviously, if you want to build Chongyun, you have him. Bennett, you can buy him from the shop if you really haven't gotten a copy. And I guess Charlotte's the only one that you might not have. If that's the case, you can always replace it with Barbara, which you get for free. I just want Charlotte for the Thrilling Tales, so I will put that on her right now. It doesn't really matter what level you have it, because you just want the passive. The only thing to keep in mind is use your Thrilling Tales right before taking out someone like Chongyun. Another 4-star you can use here is Diona on Noblesse if you want. So these are pretty interchangeable, and yeah, I'm gonna go get some energy for Xianling, or maybe we'll have enough after we ES Bennett. But I'm gonna go and test out Chongyun's damage with this free-to-play team, and I'm excited to see what it is. One more thing I wanted to mention was that my characters are not C6. I have Xianling at C4, I have Charlotte C2, and then Bennett is C5 because I just bought him from the shop. But yeah, no C6 Xianling or Charlotte or Bennett. Okay, so the free-to-play team does do quite a bit less damage, but it's not too bad given that his burst comes up quite often with only an energy cost of 40, which is half of Charlotte's, half of Shenhe's, just to put it in perspective. And if you have C2, it'll come up even faster because the cooldown is reduced if you ult within his zone. You guys didn't know Chongyun was part of the original national team. Just swap in Sing Cho instead of Charlotte on this team, and you have the original national. So, of course, he can be good in the Abyss if you want to use him there. If not, if it's just in the overworld, definitely good enough there. As you can see, I know this boss is kind of power crept, but this was a very free-to-play team, just easily one-cycling it. And his burst did quite a bit of damage. Again, nobody on Noblesse. This Barbara is a level 40, no artifacts, holding a level 20 R5 Thrilling Tales. We have Shanling on Catch, and then 4-piece Emblem, 4-piece Instructor Bennett on Sapwood, which you can craft after doing Aranara. And then, of course, our boy Chongyun here, 80 out of 80, 4-star weapon, and 2-piece, 2-piece. Yeah, the free-to-play team on the Power Edge is fine. Love to see it. I think that this will conclude our Chongyun showcase. I would use a premium team for this, but I know my other characters would probably one-shot it before even getting to Chongyun. But yeah, I was very satisfied at the end there, especially on this 4-star team. With his damage numbers, if you want to build Chongyun, you know, I really wish you luck in your artifact run, and I'm rooting for you. But let's go to someplace a little nicer to end the video. Okay, this has been my favorite place at nighttime ever since doing the world quest with any blue character, you know, Ayaka, Farina, Chongyun. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed building Chongyun and seeing his showcase just as much as I did. If you're having a rough day today, or maybe a rough week, past couple months or even years, just know that you've been doing so well. I'm here for you. If you ever need me, you can reach out to me on my Discord. I also have a very nice community there too that is very in love with the Hoyo games, Genshin, ZZZ, Star Rail, and we even have some Wuthering Wave fans on there. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to take some time to just breathe, and I will see you on the next one. I have a lot of videos in store, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you here again next video. I'm glad you're here. See ya.